The NFL finally reached a settlement with an ex-players union regarding a concussion lawsuit. When the ex-players were asked how they felt about the $750 million settlement, they responded, "Tambourine." Hi, and welcome to another episode of Couch and Sports. I'm your host, Matthew Grossman, and with me, as always, is Couch. Now, Couch, what's the show brought to us by this week?
Upon his steed, she looked up into the young mage's eyes and saw a gentle soul.
Thank you, Couch. We start this week with an in-depth look into the world of fantasy football. Every year, men and women, but mostly men, partake in the annual sporting ritual of fantasy football. Each season, millions of fantasy fanatics put hours and hours worth of effort into perfecting their team. Unfortunately, it's easy to lose sight of what's really important. That's why we here at Couch and Sports put together a 3-step fantasy program to help you keep your eye on the prize this fantasy football season. A team is only as strong as its name, so choose wisely and be sure to stay away from these common pitfalls. Never use your own name when coming up with a team name. That's because no one wants to have their next fantasy matchup against Janet's amazing team, because that's a stupid name. And Janet's a cunt. The League is an incredibly intelligent and refreshing show about fantasy football. However, if you name your team the Tacos, you're officially the adult version of that kid who said, "Alrighty then," for like 2 months longer than he should have in 2nd grade. Hey, you love the New York Giants, and that's great. I'm really happy for you. However, if you're the type of person who names your team G-Men Super Bowl, I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to stop this video, unplug your computer, and just throw it out the window. The building block of success is a strong draft, but too many people put focus on the top of the draft when it comes to getting value for their picks. However, the truth is, nothing provides you more draft value than a solid late round pick. But Matt, how do I know which players I should draft when it comes to the later rounds? Easy. Every time you pick a player after the 7th round, make sure you use the word sleeper as many times as possible. This will really ensure that your draft mates think to themselves, "Man, this guy really knows what he's talking about." Also, quick note here, don't be afraid to use the word bust whenever someone else is drafting. This not only shows everyone how knowledgeable you are, but indicates how dumb and stupid your opponents seem to be. The final and most important thing to remember is that you should be recognized for your hard work. Not everyone had the balls to desperately pick up the Buffalo Bills' third-string running back when CJ Spiller's knee exploded, but you did, and he got you 15 points. And everyone at your office, in your rec basketball league, and all of your league mates should fucking know about it. And that's it. Follow these 3 easy steps and your team, the Riley Cooper Race Wars, are well on their way to fantasy gold. You know, Couch and I actually started our own fantasy league this year, and
The young mage thrusted his hands deep into the road.
well, as I was saying, it's actually a lot of fun because in fantasy you
Stroked his throbbing...
Couch. Because in fantasy football, fans are actually able to draft their football heroes to their fantasy football team. And while Nicole Conlon was back in her hometown of Denver, she posed a very important question to Denver residents. Who's a bigger hero? Actual heroes or John Elway?
Okay, Roger. Who's a bigger hero? Batman or John Elway?
John Elway.
Aquaman or John Elway?
John Elway.
The Brave Little Toaster or John Elway?
John Elway.
Mulan or John Elway?
John Elway.
What about Fireman or John Elway?
Once again, John Elway.
The Astronauts on the Challenger or John Elway?
John Elway.
Harriet Tubman or John Elway?
These are trick questions, right? It's John Elway.
Anne Frank or John Elway?
John Elway.
The Tiananmen Square protester guy or John Elway?
John Elway.
Is anybody a bigger hero than John Elway?
My dad's like a close second, but Elway.
Elway.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You have it.
Well, that does it. That concludes this week's episode of Couch and Sports. I've been your host, Matthew Grossman. With me, as always, is Couch Robbing Dick. Thank you for tuning in.